Hey guys, how you doing? Making another video here. And I replaced my lower control arm about a month ago, and I put it in, took it for a test drive. Still knocking, still making all kinds of noise. Come to find out that what you have to do is put it in, put the bolt in. Don't tighten them down, don't torque them. Just put them in there loose. Then you take a jack stand right here and you put it right up under here at the very end of the lower control arm. And then what you do is you lower the car down onto the jack stand, putting all the weight of the vehicle on the jack stand. Then you tighten and torque your pivot bolt, and these bolts back here, there's two 15mm bolts that hold in the back of the lower control arm. You tighten those up, torque those down. Now the torque specs on the pivot bolt here is 120 foot-pounds. On the smaller ones that go in the back, they're only 50 foot-pounds. Now, I went on YouTube and I could not find me a video on doing the lower control arm on a 2005 Chrysler Town and Country 3.8 liter. Now, another thing you have to do to get the lower control arm out, if you don't want to cut it out, is this pan right here. There are about 15 bolts that hold it on, and you have to take it off if you want to get the back of the lower control arm out. Right there. If you want to get that out, you have to take the pan down. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but there's a lot of bolts. There's also these here as well that you have to take off. And I'll tell you, those things are on there with about 1,000 foot-pounds. I had to get out the breaker bar, put a cheater bar on it, and it still took everything I had to break that bolt loose. I mean, it was absolutely insanely in there, just crazy. I mean, it connects the car, the body to the frame of the car, so you'd want it on there with some excessive torque. But I did both sides. On the left side, the driver's side, you have this bolt here, the other half of the pivot bolt, which you cannot get a deep socket on it. You have to do a shallow socket if you don't want to jack up the transmission, which you would have to come in here, and that bolt hole right there. Boy, I got to shake something fierce. That bolt hole right there, you go in, it's a 15mm, take it out, and then you jack up the transmission a little bit, and then you can get into that bolt with no problem. But if you have a shallow 21mm, you can get in there and get it off with that. But yeah, it's 120 foot-pounds for those. Now, I looked online and I could not find anything on lower control arms. Eric Car Guy had a little something about the pan, taking it off so that it's easier to get the lower control arm out. So I figured I would come on, make a video, and tell people exactly, you know, how it needs to be done. Because I'll tell you, it wasn't an easy job. But once you do one, the other side's no problem. The other side, nothing's in the way, like the transmission. So it's pretty easy. Now, I did not take down the pan because it was a pain in the butt. I got one of those out. I could not get the other one out. Unfortunately, I just broke my breaker bar trying to get it out. I just couldn't do it. So what you can do is take your pry bar get all the bolts loose and have this hanging down a little bit, just take your pry bar and pry it down, and then you can just pull it out. But yeah, when you're putting it back in, do not tighten it up, do not torque it down, just put the bolts in loosely. Lower the car onto the jack stand, right to the very end of the lower control arm, right there. Then lower the vehicle down, get all the body weight onto the jack stand, and then tighten and torque your bolts. Remember, the pivot bolt is 120 foot-pounds, and the ones in the back are 50 foot-pounds. So I hope that this video helps you. If it does, hit like, and I could really use some subscribers, so please subscribe to my channel, The Real World Mechanics. Now that I've had most of my surgeries done, they went in and replaced my shoulder a couple months ago, so that's why I haven't been doing videos. I have been working, not supposed to. I'm supposed to be healing, but I use work as my physical therapy. So brake rotors still look good. So that's about it. Thank you, guys.